Welcome back, team. Why we need to understand the geography, regions, and zones. As a DevOps engineer, always you need to think about how exactly you need to deploy your component. Whenever you are provisioning a component or when you are making a deployment to a specific component, you need to make sure only one thing, team. Whenever you are provisioning also, sometimes you may need to provision the Azure component also in your company. So whenever you are provisioning, the first and foremost thing, let's consider the case a virtual machine. Basic thing we'll start with. For example, whatever the application, for example, I'm just considering an application. Your manager asked you, please deploy this particular application into the virtual machine. That's the thing exactly. You just got the scenario. You will simply deploy your application into the virtual machine. But the problem with this one is, this particular VM may belongs to only zone 1. Because this VM will be provisioned under one rack that is connected to one DC, that DC is connected to the zone 1. That's what exactly you are under some particular zone 1. If all of a sudden something happened on the zone 1, that could be a power failure, there could be some coolers issue, whatever may be the issue, your VM will not work because entire zone power failure happened. Then if your customer is asking or demanding, you need to maintain your application really well, even such a kind of disaster scenarios, then you need to think about the availability, meaning that you need to make sure your VM being replicated in another zone also. If you maintain your VM being replicated in another zone, that's exactly the safest point which you can think about always, and your client is also completely more peaceful. Obviously, because you are maintaining your application really well. If, for example, this particular VM which is sitting in the zone 1 gone, still your application will be served from the VM which is sitting in the zone 2. That's the advantage here. That's the advantage. That's the scenario you need to think about whenever we are discussing about the zones. That purpose only I just introduced in this particular case. So we understand the concept a bit and we understand the scenario also a bit. But whenever we see the practically about this particular scenario, that is exactly the moment you will feel more comfortable. Okay, we will see that one in few sessions, not immediately, because you need to understand few concepts before going for the reality. All right. Thank you for the session. See you in the next part.